Hi, my name is Amanda Duran, and my Human Impact Project is on mining.
What is mining? According to the Concise Encyclopedia, mining is the excavation of materials from the Earth's crust, including those of organic origin, such as coal and petroleum. There are three main types of mining: underwater mining, surface mining, and underground mining. The resources we get from underwater mining include magnesium, sodium, bromine, oil, gold, silver, copper, zinc, nickel, and cobalt. Because much of Earth's surface is covered in water, 2/3 of the world's mineral resources are under the sea. Dredging on the ocean floor causes destruction of habitats and kills bottom dwellers. Dredging on the ocean floor also causes sediment displacement, which makes the water murky. This limits the amount of light the organisms receive, preventing them from performing photosynthesis. Sediment displacement also causes heavy metal deposits, which affect our food chain. These heavy metals are absorbed by the fish, and humans who eat these fish can have complications due to the toxins. This diorama illustrates the impact of an oil spill, which can occur during the transport of or drilling for oil. The most common cause of spillage is during the transport process, which is when tankers ship millions of gallons of oil across the ocean and crash into objects like reefs or icebergs. As seen in the Gulf Coast tragedy, oil covers the ocean floor and floats to the surface, killing or harming everything in its path. This, in turn, causes a disruption in the food chain and a negative impact on the native habitat that can impact the region for decades. Over 2 years have passed, hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent to clean up the oil and save the wildlife, and we still don't understand the full ramifications of this event. As I mentioned earlier, another type of mining is surface mining. The resources we get from surface mining include coal, valuable rock, minerals, and sand. The negative effects of surface mining include air pollution, water contamination, soil removal, and habitat destruction. According to the Environmental Science for AP textbook, the Surface Mining Control and Reclamation Act of 1977 regulates surface mining of coal and the surface effects of subsurface coal mining. According to the Environmental Science for AP textbook, the Surface Mining Control and Reclamation Act of 1977 regulates surface mining of coal and the surface effects of subsurface coal mining. According to the Environmental Science for AP textbook, the Surface Mining Control and Reclamation Act of 1977 regulates surface mining of coal and the surface effects of subsurface coal mining. The negative effects of surface mining include air pollution, water contamination, soil removal, and habitat destruction. According to the Environmental Science for AP textbook, the Surface Mining Control and Reclamation Act of 1977 regulates surface mining of coal and the surface effects of subsurface coal mining. This law was enacted by President Jimmy Carter to ensure that there is minimal damage to the landscape, and after, the area is returned to as close as possible its pre-mining condition. As you can see in this diagram, there are 4 different ways to surface mine: mountaintop mining, contour mining, highwall mining, and area mining. The most destructive type is mountaintop mining because they use massive explosives to remove the entire mountaintop. The third type of mining is underground mining. The resources we get from underground mining include coal, valuable rock, minerals, and oil. After an area is excavated, water infiltrates into the mine and needs to be pumped out. This water has a high pH level and contains heavy metals. Frequently, the water is dumped in nearby streams or ponds, contaminating the fresh water. Other ways in which underground mining negatively affects the environment include the removal of trees, which destroys habitats, air pollution, and soil removal. Destruction of habitats affects multiple levels of the food chain. For example, once the trees have been removed and the squirrels have migrated, their predators must find new prey. Sometimes, these predators end up in urban areas, which affects the people who live there. There are 3 types of underground mining: drift mining, slope mining, and shaft mining. In 2010, 33 Chilean miners were rescued after 69 days of being trapped in an underground shaft mine. What are some changes we can make to reduce the negative impact of mining on our environment? One of the biggest changes we can make is to find an alternative to fossil fuel. Americans use 19.6 million barrels of oil per day, which is more than 25% of the world's total. By finding an alternative source, there would be much less oil drilling. According to the Environmental Sciences for AP textbook, as human populations grow and developing nations continue to industrialize, the demand for mineral resources continues to increase. Therefore, an important part of living sustainably will be learning to use and reuse limited mineral resources more efficiently.